What's up, everybody? This is Alex from the Duran, and I have with me Peter Lavelle, host of RT's CrossTalk, and today we're going to be taking a look at John McCain. So, Peter, it's common news now that John McCain passed away at 81. I'll pass it off to you so you can kind of sum up what John McCain, what your thoughts of John McCain are. For me, I remember a John McCain that ran for the presidency in 2008. I remember a John McCain that was in the Maidan meeting with the neo-Nazi government that was integral in the coup. I remember a John McCain aligning with ISIS, and I remember an anti-Trump John McCain. These are my overarching thoughts of John McCain. Take it away, Peter.
Well, that's a really good summation of the last part of his life. I'm not going to go into the vitriol of, I'm glad he's dead and he's the devil incarnate. That's just a lot of noise. Let's talk about what happened. And for me, he was one of the exemplars of empire, of American exceptionalism, which does no one any good, particularly America, not to speak of the people that are given the gift of American exceptionalism around the world. I say that with great sarcasm. But it's interesting looking at the responses from the mainstream media. He's heralded as a hero, a maverick, that somehow gets him off the hook for a lot of things, apparently. I'm offended by the fact that they call him a conservative. He's not a conservative. Most of his politics weren't. He was the greatest gift to the military-industrial complex and the deep state. I think that's his legacy. I guess looking at his career is that he had the incapacity to learn from his mistakes and the mistakes of people around him. Maybe less war would be appropriate, not more war. And so from one conflict to another, he criticized Iraq because Bush didn't send in enough troops. Wow. Okay. He goes to the Maidan to herald in an illegal government that was installed partly by the United States and the European Union, completely illegal, completely undemocratic, and starting the second Cold War. We can have so many different appellations for that, but conflict with Russia, conflict with China, conflict with Syria, conflict with Libya. I could go on and on. That is his legacy, and it's a legacy that I think speaks very ill of American foreign policies. And like I said, he was one of the exemplars of that. So, in a sense, he really crosses party lines. Was
he a neocon, Peter?
Yeah, he was a neocon of his own type. The thing is that John McCain, I didn't think was very bright, and he wasn't very ideological. He didn't have a coherent neocon agenda, like you'd say, like Bill Kristol or somebody like that, like Max Boot. He was basically an American adventurist. He believed that the military is the solution to problems around the world, not diplomatic, not economic, military. And that's the legacy of a lot of the needless deaths around the world because of his belief that America don't listen to what we say and ignore what we do because we are exceptional and we have the right to do it. So here's a man that broke all international norms. I don't think the world is a better place after his passage, personally. Again, the mainstream. They don't want to examine closely his real legacy, and it was a legacy of failure. And then, his last vote, out of spite, out of a grudge, he vetoed getting rid of Obamacare, a Republican apparently. And he took great glee. Remember the big thumbs down? He was in the well of the Senate on the floor, and it was just, it was kabuki theater. His constituents didn't want him to do that. The Republican Party came to power partly to get rid of Obamacare. But no, John McCain was thinking about himself. And for all that he said, about protecting America, American interests, he was very much interested in protecting himself and his legacy. I found him to be a quite selfish person in many, many ways. And it's no surprise that the mainstream media can't critically analyze the life and times and the career of John McCain. So I think, he's one of the great, we've talked about this kind of secular church in the West, neoliberalism. Well, he was one of the cardinals, okay, and want to be Pope because he definitely wanted to become president. But let me say something nice about John McCain, because I don't believe in this atmosphere that we live in. It's very primitive in the way people express themselves. I think we can do a lot better. I remember when he was running against Barack Obama in the first time, and he was at a campaign event, and a woman, a hysterical woman, called Obama a Muslim, an Arab. And John McCain had served in the Senate with Barack Obama. Barack Obama wasn't there long, but he was there in the Senate. And he said no. And so that kind of thing is kind of old school with me. I mean, he didn't go along with the propaganda and the slurs and the politics of personal destruction. So, I remember why. But then in this, another clip just pops into my head: bomb, 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 Iran. Not very funny, okay. And I think that's the kind of callousness that he had about looking at foreign policy, because he was never held accountable for failure, ever. None of these people are ever held to account for what they have done. And John McCain is the exemplar, again, that's the word I'm going to use over and over here, of a person that doesn't take personal responsibility for the decisions that he proposed and backed. And it's always one way. See, people like John McCain and his view of American foreign policy, they have no introspection whatsoever, no introspection. And that is catastrophic for everybody.
All right, so Peter, 2 questions to wrap up this segment. What do you think drove John McCain to support so many wars? And the second question is, do you think that John McCain is a historical figure?
Okay, second question. Will he go down as a historical figure? I don't think so, because he represented a world view. I mean, he's not alone. I mean, he was pretty spectacular as an individual in proposing it and being a proponent of it. But no, there's no lasting legacy. There's no McCain doctrine. There's no McCain lesson to learn. There's no McCain history, as it were. What drove him? He came from a military family, apparently going all the way back to George Washington. I mean, I heard that on Judge Jeanine on Fox. I didn't do my own research on that. I know that his father and grandfather were both admirals, and I think that he had a very old school, because I can see it in my father, old school belief in being a civil servant, serving the nation and serving the country in his own peculiar way. I think, for people like John McCain, the only way, it's kind of like, if I were senator from a state, I would like to leave my legacy after 30 years in the Senate that I wiped out poverty. I wiped out illiteracy. I wiped out, gangs. I mean, that's the kind of person I am. Okay, I would like that. I wouldn't want the legacy of a person that brought war and destruction on so many parts of the world. But see, in John McCain's view, that was a way to, it was a tangible thing for him. Now, you remember when Trump struck Syria with those missiles, and everybody on those beautiful missiles of ours, and I think that's how John McCain saw it. He saw this as a tangible thing of American power, which I think he believed. Neocons, I don't believe, are honest. I think in John McCain's world, he is genuine to himself, that he does believe that American might is something for good for the world. That's that kind of twisted world. I mean, the other neocons, democracy, they don't care about diversity. Oh, that no, they're there for power. And I don't think McCain was there just for power. He He believed that it would have some kind of intrinsic value, which unfortunately I can't even begin to comprehend, though I could understand maybe how he could comprehend it. So I think he's a tragic figure of American exceptionalism. And I think that is his legacy.
Very well put, Peter. Very well put. Peter Lavelle, host of RT's CrossTalk, thank you for a fascinating discussion on the passing away of Senator John McCain at age 81. Guys, if you like this video, click on the subscribe button down below and click on the notifications bell to get notifications every time we push out a new video. And remember to visit the Duran shop, pick up a t-shirt, help support the Duran. Until next time, take care.